And Coley, you'll figure out pretty quick. We're pretty free flowing with the format.
He means we're not organized at all. Okay.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to KBN Live. Back on a Monday night, and look who we got back with us up there. My partner, Ryan Lambert, is back from the Wild West, from the great hunting adventure. I don't know if anybody followed him along on Instagram, Facebook, and everything, but posted some epic pics, man. We were all pulling for you to, even the non-hunters were out there pulling for you to shoot something giant.
Man, I wanted to. It was on my to-do list, but didn't work out this time.
Yeah, we still enjoyed following along. Looks like an awesome place to be, especially compared to where you're at right now.
If you ever had the chance, do it. Yeah, I'm in New York City right now, and this is what I imagine hell would be like. So
you went to the exact opposite.
2 days here, and I'll be out.
Exact opposite of where you were, huh?
I'm paying for it, man.
Yeah, I got you. Well, hey, glad to have Ryan back for sure, and very excited to have Coley McGowan on after the big win over the weekend at the Coosa River, the last Hobie Bass Open. Can you believe it's the last one? Last Hobie Bass Open Series event of the year until the TOC. Wrapped it up with that big win. We saw our boy Jordan Marshall leading on day one. We were pulling for him, but we were excited to see Coley climb that leaderboard on day two and get it done. So, Coley, thanks for jumping on here. I know you probably wore out after the weekend, but thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
go ahead, Ryan.
Go ahead, Jeff. No. I'm out of the loop.
I was gonna say I just saw Jim Clark dropping this kid's name. I hate to call you kid. I'm just old, so I call everybody kid. Jim Clark dropping his name about look out, he's coming. So he kind of predicted your rise. What do you think about that, Cole?
That's my hot man, Jim. There was a couple of guys that from the beginning was like, local, guy can do this, but I don't know. Sometimes being a local guy, it can kind of bite you in the ass, So
yes, it can.
For sure. No pressure. But.
So you're pretty familiar with the Coosa chain down there, right? You're not far off the water yourself.
No, yeah, I live about 5 minutes from Neely and Southside, so yeah, I live pretty close.
So did you fish Neely or Weiss on tournament?
I fished Neely both days.
That's what I thought. So one of my buddies, he won the FLW Angler of the Year last year. Do you know Trey Gamble? Big boy.
I've heard the name. Yeah.
He fishes down there quite a bit. He lives on Neely, and he's like, dude, he said that tournament would be won on Neely. And you see all these fish being put up on Weiss, and I was like, he's wrong. And then you came in on day two, and I was like, all right. Old Trey might know what he's talking about after all.
If you can find them on Neely, you can catch them. It's just finding them, the hard part.
Yeah. How are the lakes different? How are they set up different?
Weiss really is more of a lake, as far as the layout, just more wide open. Neely's so narrow, close quarters. I feel like our current's a lot different than Weiss. Like, I feel like Weiss has current in certain areas, but Neely, when they run water, there's a constant current through the whole river. So I like Neely because it's more of a river type fishing versus Weiss. You got a lot of dead water, and I'm just not into fishing the deep stuff. Neely doesn't have a lot of deep water compared to Weiss. Weiss has ledges, and Neely's got some, but not as much as Weiss does.
Neely's a lot of flats and like timber and stuff, isn't it? And there like some stump fields and whatnot out there.
A lot of sandbars and mud flats and stump rows and a bunch of trees. A lot of flipping. And everybody around here flips.
Ooh, I like that.
So explain something to me about the genetics of those Coosa River spots over there, if you can, and I don't want Ryan to say a word because he's going to say something about Arkansas. Here in Arkansas, you know, we've got spotted bass in our White River lakes, and we just cuss them because they're so small, and they just are a nuisance almost. But over there, you're gunning for the spots. I mean, them suckers got like 8-inch long tails, and they're the perfect kayak fish. So what's the difference over there that makes them so big?
I do not know. These Coosa River spots, all the way down the Coosa chain, like every lake, like Logan, Neely, Y, all the way to Georgia, all the way down to Wetumpka, the Coosa River. I mean, they are just magnum spots. I mean, they are mean. They are ferocious.
That's the truth. They look like a bowling pin. Like when you catch one, that's their shape. It's like a bowling pin. They got a long, skinny tail.
Yeah, I knew largemouth was going to play a huge role in this tournament. Like, I knew if somebody on Y figured out the largemouth, it was going to be ugly. And I was like, but I think my spots could contend like for 2 days. I thought, well, if I just put up a decent average both days, I'll give myself a chance. And then day one, they just weren't there, and everybody's hammering the largemouth. I was like, oh no, I made the wrong decision. But they were there when I checked them on day 2.
So did you go back to the same spot on day 2?
Well, I fished one section, and the current was there. They were pulling a lot of water. Everybody I talked to, there were several guys that fished the same area as me, and like none of us were having luck. None. I mean, we weren't getting bit at all. Like 11 o'clock, it just turned around. I don't know why. It was cool. We had a full moon for 3 nights, so I don't know if they fed all night or what, but it was like you rung a dinner bell at 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock, and they just started eating. I don't know. But it wasn't like boom, boom, boom. It was like, okay, there's one. A couple minutes later, 15, 20 minutes, you'd catch another one. I was like, okay, so they're more active now versus this morning. But the day 2 was complete opposite. I caught all my fish before 9 o'clock. I was limited out by 9. I didn't call another fish after like 9 or 9:30.
We'll go through.
So you fished the same area after it being that tough on day 1. You went back to the same area, and they were eating better on day 2.
Well, I knew they were there. I didn't know what was going on with them. So I went there on day 1. Didn't have any luck. I left. Went to another, or I just paddled to another section of the river. Flipped a lot of grass. Flipped a lot of trees. Put together 87.5, and I was like, well, it was basically junk fishing. I mean, there was really no specific pattern. I was like, okay, that'll work. Maybe that'll hold me in there. So I tied for 5th. Me and Drew were tied 5th and 6th. And then day 2, I was like, I know they're there. I don't know why they're not eating. I was like, I'm just going to try it again. I'm just going to do what I did. But I was going to fish a different section of the river. I was just going to hit that section and just keep going. And when I pulled up, I threw a black buzz bait over in a little isolated grass patch and 19 inchers. I was like, okay, that'll work. And then that wasn't a pattern at all. So I was like, that sucks. And then I caught a 17 3/4 flipping on some wood. So I was like, okay, well maybe they want that. So then that didn't work out much till like later, and I caught a bunch of dinks on flipping. But a white spinnerbait, 1/2 ounce white spinnerbait, willow blades, and
who would have guessed?
I mean, I guess I just happened to come up on a school of them and out from some grass about 5 or 8 foot and some current. I don't know. They were chomping. I caught them.
You got the right ones.
Back to back. Yeah.
I was going to ask you to give up the juice, but it sounded like you just kind of junk fishing 101 until you put it all together there with that spinnerbait, huh?
Yeah, I mean my paddle broke. My paddle broke at 140. I was actually paddling to another spot, and that I hadn't got to fish yet. And I was like, well, I know there's 1 or 2 in there that would help me. And there was a guy fishing beside me, and he run out of some jig trailers. And I said, well, here's a pack. I'll give you some. I gave him a pack and pulled over and tossed him a pack. And said, all right, I'll see you later, and hope you get your limit. And went to paddle off, and I don't know if I caught like a rock or maybe a stump or something, and the tip of my paddle it just broke. The whole thing broke, and I was like, oh God.
What kind of paddle were you using?
Bending branches.
Bending branches. Let's get this guy a paddle.
That's right.
Thanks.
Hey, you know what that means? So you're paddling, obviously. That means back-to-back Open Series, huge events, won by people paddling. That's wild.
True.
With all the push for people and motors and all that stuff, 2 guys back to back to win paddling. It's everything.
So what you're in a new canoe, correct?
Yeah, new canoe pursuit.
So now that you've won this large sum of money, are you going to buy a Hobie?
I have a Hobie actually. I have a Hobie Pro Angler 12 I bought from Dugout in March, I believe.
Attaboy. You're smart.
So yeah, I got her. She's sitting in the garage right now. She's just waiting for her moment to shine, I guess.
I got you.
So why'd you paddle? Is
But
it just the environment?
Jeff read my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I could have got there in my Hobie a lot faster. Like, a lot. Let me just tell you that. I paddled, I know this is crazy, but I probably covered paddling probably 10 to 12 miles each day. And
So were you doing a float? Float or
No,
single access?
I paddled from my truck one way to get to them. I started paddling at legal blast off was 5:45, and I paddled for 2.5 hours before I even fished.
What?
Mm-hmm.
How long?
I just wanted 2.5 hours.
How old are you, Coley?
I'm 25.
Man, to be young again, I swear.
So you paddled for 2.5 hours in a new canoe. You were probably what, 800 yards up the river? That's
I was a lot further than yards.
Seriously, why? Were you just trying to get away from the crowd, or was it that section that was that hot? Did you go up a creek? Tell us what led you to paddle for 2 hours?
I was on the main river, but there's some backwaters that I was trying to get to that I just could not get in. There's a ditch I was trying to reach. And there was a couple ditches and some stumps that I was trying to get to, and they were literally in 2 foot or less of water, and I just couldn't get to them. I went in there and practiced with my Hobie in like multiple days and ran my Hobie in there, caught them, come back out, and I was like, I know they're further back, but I just couldn't catch the big ones I knew were in the back. And so I was like, I'm just going to take my pursuit. And I went real light, 5 rods, just a little box, with a bunch of Z-Man jigs and chatterbaits and some spinnerbaits and a handful of soft plastics, and just trying to get to them. Which I knew everybody was going to Weiss, and I had a couple of good spots on Weiss because I'm from here. So I was like, God, I don't want to go pre-fish Weiss because the spots I knew were kind of like community holes. I was like, they're pretty obvious, and I figured a lot of those, guys with the Hobies would, be sitting right on them. So I was like, I'm not playing that ball game. I'll just have to work extra hard to get to them.
Did you get to your fish? Did you get back there to those fish in the 2 feet of water?
Yeah, I ended up catching a 20-inch spot off a laydown. There was just a little bit of current. Just a trickle. It's not much. It's not real wide where I was at. And there was just enough current to come around that to where she had positioned, right there in that eddy. And because they were pulling so much water out of Weiss, Neely, and Logan that everywhere had current. Every cove I went in, there was water coming right down the main river, and there was just a defined current break. And all the fish I caught were sitting with their face upstream. Like textbook. But they were, as the day went on, they were positioning towards the wood. In the morning, they were about 5 to 8 foot outside the grass lines on the main river. And about mid-morning to, early afternoon, they were just gluing right to the wood.
That's where you want them.
I'm going to guess, to follow up on Ryan's question, you were the only one in your area?
There was, day one, there was 2 Hobies and a native. And then there was day 2, there was 2 guys in paddle kayaks. But they stayed around the ramp. And I seen one guy like halfway back.
Just out there fishing the boat ramp.
Did the native make it back to the ramp?
I think he dropped his drive, honestly, in the river.
Oh shit!
Because he had to go fishing for his drive.
Ooh.
What? Why do you have his drive out of the boat? Period.
I do not know. I don't know.
Can you tag him?
I didn't know him. I didn't know him.
Katie Backa, tag whoever
Tag that
he's
man.
talking about.
That's
But he
hilarious.
found it though.
Holy
He
cow.
found it because it wasn't but about 3 or 4 foot deep. So he found it. So he was
Gosh, that's an expensive loss on tournament day. Is pitching a $800 drive over the side.
Good God. So TOC qualified, man. Have you fished any other BOS events before this one this year?
That was my first one.
Man, one shot deal and you're in. So you pumped for the TOC? You ever been up to Knoxville?
Yeah, I'm going. I've never been. I fished Tennessee a couple of times. I think 3 past couple of years. I really want to catch some smallmouth, but because I'm more of a spot guy than largemouth, but I'll take whatever I can get. But I really would love to get on a good solid pattern for smallmouth.
Wouldn't we all?
That would be fantastic.
Ryan, you
Too good to be true, probably.
ever sell your smallmouth spots, Ryan?
Did I sell them?
Yeah, this week.
Those weren't. They're not smallmouth spots this time of year, buddy.
Oh, I got you.
My spots are largemouth spots. I did have a conversation with a gentleman today, and I think he's going to go check on the old pet fish tomorrow, and I hope he wins whatever, $11 or whatever they're paying out. Have you
TBD.
seen a payout scale yet?
TBD.
Have you seen it yet? I don't think it's out.
The suspense.
I'm serious. Have you seen a payout
No.
scale, Jeff? Yes or no?
I haven't even seen one mentioned.
And the
so
tournament starts in
I
how
think-
many days?
I
2?
think Wednesday?
1?
Wednesday, maybe?
Awesome. This is awesome. So 300 people come from all around the country. You don't even know what you're fishing for 2 days before the tournament starts.
It's for the brotherhood,
Come on.
Ryan. It's for the brotherhood.
Come on, man. Come on. We can do better. This has been years. We've been at this for years, man.
Yeah.
Coley got a big check. He got a hat. He's probably going to get paid this week. Like, we can do better. We can do better. That's,
Yeah.
come on.
Hey, speaking of that check, man, what you got a commitment for that? You gonna buy you something nice, or is it going straight into the bill paying pot?
It's going straight into the bill paying pot.
That's how it always goes, man. That's all right. You gotta get yourself a little something there, though, right?
So are you dating? So the lovely lady that was in your picture that doesn't want to be on KBN Live with you, are y'all dating? Are you engaged? Is that going to
We're engaged. We got a little boy on the
good.
way.
Oh, snap. Congratulations. Well, put that
Thank
in
you.
diaper money then. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
where that's going to go.
Yeah, it'll probably go so she can take off work for a while after the baby's
There
born.
you go. That was awesome. That's a great reason to win, though.
Smart man.
Yeah, great,
Smart man.
Great use of that money. Congrats to y'all. That's cool.
Thank you.
So anybody out there that's watching, if you got any questions for us, shoot them to us. Or if you got a question for Coley, of course, shoot it to him. We've got a few people in here commenting. They're just laughing. Talking about natives can't get that shallow. Talking about the money.
Yeah, come on.
We got a YouTube comment, Ryan.
Did we?
Yeah. This guy said that's why he uses the Old Town Sportsman. That's all he said.
Was it Duke Tran? Are
No.
y'all like
His
y'all
name
set up
is
a thing here?
His name is Moose McCollum. You know the
Fake-
YouTube
fake
names
name.
can be anything, but Moose, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for the comment over on YouTube.
The moose is loose.
The Moose is
Where did my video feed go, Jeff? I can't see us anymore.
Huh? I don't know. We're gold on we're gold on our end. It's probably your iPhone.
All right.
I don't know.
As long it's on a laptop.
Oh,
It's probably New York internet.
Yeah,
I'd
probably.
say the freaking governor up here shuts the internet off at whatever time it is, 8:20, 9:20. Ugh.
So, Coley, talk a little bit about your local club. I know Alabama Kayak Anglers have some stuff going on. Do you fish locally there too with that club?
I kind of bounce around, and the main club I probably fish the most with is Coosa River Kayak Anglers. They're here out of Gadsden. We have a lot of throwdowns, like Thursday afternoon tournaments. They're pretty fun. They're 2 fish, so it's pretty fun. And then Iron City Kayak Anglers, I fish a couple events with them usually every year. And North Alabama Kayak Anglers, I really like their club. Fish with them. Yeah, that's probably the 3 main ones that I fish with. And I normally fish like the KBF state monthly tournament, stuff like that, but I haven't fished those in a couple months. I'm kind of taking it easy.
Getting ready to cash that big Hobie check and go to the TOC.
Yeah.
Do you know
How
someone?
excited are you for the TOC on a scale
I'm pretty
of 1 to 10?
pumped. Like, I mean, I'm probably past 10. I mean, I'm way excited.
You should be. I'm telling you, man. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. Like the gift bag alone is worth is worth all the time you put into pre-fishing.
Someday, Ryan. Someday I'll make it up there with the big boys. I don't know.
I don't think you will, Jeff.
I'm going to make it. Challenge accepted.
I thought you were going to make it on the shootout last year. I really, in my heart, I was like, Jeff's got this. Like, Jeff's going to be here with us.
I don't want to talk
party
about that.
all weekend.
That was one of my
It's
one
okay.
spot out finishes of 2019. One spot out.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Hey, do you know someone named Wilson Farmer, Coley?
I do.
Yeah,
That's my fishing partner.
Oh, he commented and said, Coley can't fish. What are y'all even talking about?
Yeah. He's probably right. He's probably right.
Did Wilson give you the fish? Did he donate them so you could get the win? Is that what happened, Wilson?
No, I tried to talk him into fishing the Hobie tournament, but he had some work stuff going on in school. So we fished the state championship together, though, last weekend, and I tied for first in that. We had 59 and a quarter. I led it all day. I mean, all day. And I had a 20 and a quarter spot, a 20 spot, a 19. I think I had yeah, that was it. Yeah, because I had 97 inches and 5, but it was only a 3-fish tournament. So, and I was like, okay, this would be great for the Hobie tournament. I'm going to do exactly what I did last weekend, and it just didn't happen. So, but yeah, Wilson got Angler of the Year in our local tournament, Coosa River Kayak Anglers. So congrats to him. Yeah, I finished a half an inch behind him in second. So
All day. Y'all go by inches?
we're pretty
I like the
competitive.
name. I like the name Wilson Farmer. That's a good name. Does he wear overalls by chance?
No, I think he's got somewhat of a mullet though.
Oh,
That-
really?
that
Hell
helps.
yeah.
Like
All right.
Jordan Marshall class mullet or no?
God, Jordan.
No, Jordan Marshall's mullet is one of the best.
Jordan, son.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Party
I
in
feel
the
like
back.
Jordan Marshall is like the John Daly of kayak fishing. That's Jordan's role. You're welcome, Jordan.
He had his boots on in the tournament Friday, Saturday.
That's my boy. We used to fish
Yeah.
in jeans and boots. Like
That's what he had
that's
on.
how we got
so.
started, man. That's how all this happened. So there's a couple questions for you because you're a pro now, Coley. So what's your favorite trailer for a chatterbait?
Ooh, that's probably going to be a Reactions Innovation Little Dipper.
Those are good
That's
ones.
probably
I like
my favorite. That one or the net bait. I can't think of the name of it right off my head. I just started using them. But yeah, Reactions Innovations would probably be my favorite.
Have you tried the razor shads, the Z-Man razor shads?
I have not.
So they don't have a paddle tail on them, which will make you think that they won't work. But they're jointed like a Zaco.
Are
So
those
they
the ones?
move-
Yeah. I have
They
grown
move a
those.
whole lot. They're like a straight tail, but they're elastic, so they don't get the tail ripped off of them. That was my. I used to throw Kitex all the time, but I would go through like $100 worth of Kitex in a weekend tournament because they'll just pull the tail off of it. So that was my switch personally.
I'm not a big
Jor-
chatterbaits. Don't really. I mean, I guess they play up here in Northwest Arkansas a lot. I don't throw them all the time, but I hear a lot of guys throwing them with saltwater trailers on them. You ever done that, Coley?
I never have.
Yeah. I guess it's all the same. Swim bait's a swim bait, huh?
Is that what's wrong with Arkansas anglers? Y'all are up there throwing saltwater baits?
I'm not. Throw saltwater spooks on.
That's y'all are special up there, man.
Hey, Randall Wallace asked
miss you, Joe.
asked what his cut is. Coley needs to comment on what his cut of the money is.
Oh, Randall coming
Yeah,
in, huh?
He's the one that talked me up a lot before it got down here. So I owe him a steak dinner for sure.
Oh.
And if you don't know Randall Wallace, then you probably haven't fished Gunnersville ever. He's a freaking hammer on Gunnersville. That boy's got a honey hole that makes me cry. It's a good one.
He's won the Spro tournament 2 years in a row. So
Yeah,
he's
probably within an 80-yard circle both years. He's definitely got it dialed in for sure.
Everybody giving Arkansas hell. Appreciate you guys for that.
No problem, Jeff.
Yeah.
If you want to move to Tennessee, we have room, Jeff.
No, I'm good, man. I'm good right here. Arkansas makes you work.
Sure?
Makes you work to catch them here. We got some good anglers here in Arkansas because of that.
Randall said 84 yards, so he moved 4 yards. 4
yards.
yards outside the comfort zone. Are you fishing the national championship, Randall? Please say yes. I'd like to see him clean house down there.
Is that your?
I think I asked him that, and he said no. I think.
Coley, are you?
Can't fault him for that.
No, I'm not. If they would have kept it in the spring, I would have. But since they pushed it back, I decided not to.
You and me both, brother. I think I tell you, man. Josh Stewart and I, we like to fish the same area fall time. I'm willing to put a hefty wager that Josh Stewart is in the top 5 at least, at very least.
I saw him catch a big one the other day on a jig, and I was like, "Oh my Lord!" I was like, "He gets some of those, he is going to do it."
He threw a jig. He must have ran out of Cincos.
Well, he had I don't know. He had a jig that went on the shoot. So, man,
Largemouth or spot?
It was largemouth.
Was it? Yeah. I caught a little over 5. It was a little over 5 pound spot down there. Did you fish Logan Martin?
I did not. No, I had to work.
BASS?
Yeah.
I did all right pre-fishing it, but man, those freaking spots, and it was on a willow blade spinnerbait. They were smoking it. Like, I don't know what happened in their past that a willow blade spinnerbait did to them, but they freaking hate it. They were very upset with that spinnerbait.
Logan's a special place for spots, that's for sure. I don't think a lot of people know that.
Dude, it was nasty. I was impressed. And I mean, tournament day ended to be a disaster, but pre-fishing was a lot of fun. I had a great time down there pre-fishing.
It was a cool lake for sure. Like I said, that was my only little taste of the Coosa River spots, and it blew my mind compared to what we have here. So jealous for sure of what you guys have.
Different breed. I mean, even on like Chickamauga, Gunnersville, like spots are like trash. Like, if you need to fill a limit, you will go try to catch like a little bitty spot, but it is not anything you would ever target to win $1. Like, I would never bet on a spotted bass. Then you go down there and the Coosa spots are just super aggressive. I mean, they get big guts on them and they're so long. I mean, they're huge fish.
Yeah, here in Arkansas, 15-inch spot, giant. Oh, here up in Beaver Lake, giant game changer spot.
You get a little certificate, trophy catch certificate for 15-inch spot.
Certificate. Hey, Randall Wallace said negative. Did you see that, Ryan? Guess he's not fishing.
I did.
So he's out.
I did. Don't blame you, Randall. Randall, we're duck hunting this year, buddy. I don't want to hear any more excuses. I'm sorry I missed out last year. We're going to try to shoot some ducks this year, for sure.
Any more questions out there? Fire them off, boys. Go ahead, man.
So, how did you get started? How long have you been kayak fishing?
I've been fishing out of a canoe. My pawpaw had passed away. Pretty much raised me like on the creek bank or a river. We just fun fished, and then I started kayaking. I started seeing some guys with kayaks, and then I was in high school. I think I was 14 or 15, I think, when I got my first kayak. It was a Heritage Angler or something like that, like a little 12-foot kayak. And I fished out of that, and then really just, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I guess, I heard about like actual kayak tournaments, and I was like, oh, shoot, I might sign up for one of them. The first one I ever fished, I won with like, I don't remember how many inches, maybe 97 inches or something like that. And I was like, heck yeah. I was like, I want to do this again. So just kept on doing it. And then I got into the KBF monthly tournaments because I'm a police officer, so I don't really get to fish all the Saturdays like a lot of these tournaments are. So I was like, well, I'll get to fish on my off days during the week. So I was like, well, started doing that. And then it was just, but I mean, heck, you got to put up, 106 or 110 inches around here to, do any good in these monthly tournaments. So it's like,
yeah, it definitely helps to be able to fish monthly tournaments every day. Then you look at like the investment that you put in, and you put in 30 days of fishing, you win $200. Like,
Why do
Was it
people
worth
argue
your
about
whole
that,
month?
Ryan? Yeah, people argue with me
I
about
don't
that.
know.
They're like, "You're crazy." I'm like, "Do you not know how to do math, guys?"
hourly investment, man. What is your time worth? $3. All right, that's good. Do you and David Cruz and Joe Guglielmucci and who else? What other cops do we have in the ranks here, Jeff? I know I'm missing some. Jake Harshman. Do y'all have like a club? Do y'all have a kayak fishing cops club? Do y'all have your own private group text?
No, I'm not in any. I don't really know any guys. I don't know any guys around here that are.
So serious, like.
I don't know any guys around here that are police officers that kayak fish. To be honest with you.
We're going to get that started. So we have the KBN Department of Justice. It helps keep shit straight around here. We'd be honored if you would join it. Send David Cruz a message and he'll sign you up. Y'all get to review all the BS claims that we get sent to us before Jeff posts it.
Hey, sometimes Jeff posts it anyway.
A lot of times Jeff posts it anyway.
Full send.
The way I know what Jeff is going to post is I refresh the KBN page and see what Jeff posted. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
That's the fun. Hey,
Forrest Livingston asked, do you ever use canoes over kayaks?
No.
It's pretty simple.
He is my best friend. So I knew he was going to say something on there. He's a canoe guy. So, and he will argue all day long that canoes are better than kayaks because that is his thing. And he'll smoke me 9 times out of 10 as far as like we're on the river together. He will just run off and leave me in a canoe. So, but no, I'm a kayak guy.
In what they call rain, that's where canoes tend to give issues. Rain and big water for us.
He's got a sponge that's
Oh no!
A sponge?
Yeah, he's a sponge. If it gets a little bit of water in there, he just sits that sponge in there and soaks up, rinses her out. He's got
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Is there a specific brand of sponge that we need to be aware of, or?
I do not know.
That's wild.
He likes them.
I'll give you that one.
So.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Well,
Yeah.
All right. Sponge it out, man.
You do you, Forrest. Impressed. Impressed. That's awesome. Let's see. We had another comment somewhere. Oh, somebody mentioned a little bit ago that second place was also paddling in this thing.
Yeah, he's from Tennessee. Joshua Sharp.
Josh Sharp, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Everybody at the tournament said he was a hammer, and he definitely showed out on day 2 for sure.
Wasn't a lie, was it?
Was he the 98-inch day 2 limit? Was that him?
Yeah, 98.5, I think.
That's big. And he went all largemouth, right, Coley? Is that right?
Yeah, he had all largemouth.
Yeah, on day 2, or was day 1 and 2?
He had largemouth, I think, on both days.
Yeah,
I believe.
So he went a different.
He was
route.
on Weiss.
Yeah.
Lawrence Martinez said NRS sponges do damage. Cool. Sponge team.
Yeah, we just started a whole new thing here.
I don't know what's happening. It's spiraling out of control.
I don't know if Brandon Elrod does kayak cushion sponge absorb water, or is it only for cleaning? That might be a dual purpose.
Yeah.
Little tool that he's giving away there.
Brand
I'll have
logo.
to look into that.
I'll have them up on the KBN website by the end of the week. Branded sponges.
Sweet.
Another YouTube comment. Moose is back on the YouTube comment, Ryan. He asked, I don't know how many people are watching from Texas, but he said he's fishing the Lone Star Throwdown this weekend. Any advice for that lake, as he's never fished it before with 1 day to pre-fish?
What lake is it on?
I have no idea.
By the way.
Where's Katie?
Anybody
from Texas.
Anybody from Texas. Let us know where the Lone Star Throwdown. That'll be a fun event because that's as much of a social event as it is a fishing tournament, and I think that's kind of the balance that you got to strike to make it good. But the Lone Star Throwdown, they get out and cook and drink and tell lies. And what did Duke say they had? Like 150 people or something?
Yep.
That is nuts. They've got 150. We've got, I think, a little over 100 for the Tennessee State Championship. Is y'all state championship this weekend too, Jeff?
It is, but I have no idea how many people are going to sign up.
I got you.
We don't cut off registration until Friday. And people here usually we'll have 15 on a Wednesday and then 75 by Saturday. So you never know how it's going to go. But I expect we'll have around 60, 70. There's a handful of guys that skipped our state to go to Guntersville, which, whatever. You guys do you. But
interesting comments in the comment section here. Jordan Marshall says he thinks Lance and Drew were paddling too. Some guy, Jim Sancho Clark, says, well, one of them was.
What does that mean?
Jim, would you like to elaborate?
Lance had a pedal drive, but I think he did both. I think he was in a Wilderness Systems pedal drive, I believe.
So that's like paddling.
I think he did that. I think he did that, and then once he got to where he was going, he paddled, and then Drew for sure paddled. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if Drew is definitely paddling, I would say. James Strawbridge says, what are your plans for 2021? Do you have a particular series in mind, goals, raising a kid? What are you doing for 2021?
Well, of course, I'm going to do what I got to do around here as far as the family, but I got a little boy at 2 and then one on the way. But I'd love to fish some more of the Hobie events. I really liked how theirs was ran. They were pretty well organized. Everybody was on it. I mean, it was like any question I had, they got answered, and then it was just like it was a smooth event. It wasn't I didn't have a problem with the KBF event. It was just kind of I fished the national championship last year in Shreveport, and I was just kind of like, it is what it is,
You should have hung out with us in Shreveport. We had a good time. Not so much related to the event, more so related to all the shenanigans that happened at our house and at Hustler Club. But we had a hell of a good time. I'll say that.
Y'all think that's all the COVID situation will be cleared up in 21 enough to have regular tournaments again?
I think it'll be cleared up like by mid-November, if I were guessing. I'd say we'll see a magical healing take place.
Yeah, I second that. Yeah, I agree with that as well.
I'm ready for that. I blame COVID for not making the TOC. Can't we use that as a crutch? Can't we use that as a crutch for everything?
Got you. I feel like it is, man. It killed your springtime momentum. It made things a lot more difficult. Honestly, man, it did hurt a lot of people, especially if you look at, kind of the bigger tournaments that people have traditionally done well in. COVID knocked a lot of those out, so it did make getting started. Yes, Josh. Yes, I am drinking Crown Royal. Gosh.
They even have it in New York. Good for them.
That's all they have. Everything's closed. Like, I just wanted to go in and eat like a big New York pizza or, some nice Italian restaurant or something. Everything is closed. Like, absolutely everything. This is like, I don't know, some communist country. I won't ever come back here again, even if I have to. It's okay.
So I think somebody asked you earlier, Coley, what your plans were. You said you'd like to try to reach out and hit the Hobie Series, perhaps. For you and Ryan, what's on your wish list as far as BASS or Hobie coming up with for 2021 as far as the lakes they're going to pick? Is there one you'd like to see on the schedule again, or that hasn't been on the schedule that you'd like to see pop up? Don't say Coosa. I know you wanted to back on the Coosa.
I'd love for them to come back to the Coosa. That would be great. They're always welcome here. So I don't know. They could pick any lake on the Coosa chain if they wanted to. That would be great. I don't know. I think that they need to have an event down in Florida myself. Like Lake Okeechobee or something like that. That just me personally, I think that would be awesome. Something different. For sure.
They used to, did you ever, I don't know, how long did you remember the KBS, Kayak Bass Series, that deal? So they used to do an early event. We fished Lake George one year and Lake Monroe, like deep down like Orlando area of Florida. We would do that one every year early, like late January, early February, similar to the timing of Seminole for the Hobie Series this year. But man, it's great fishing in Florida because you can get an earlier start. But every one that I fished has been a cold front. I fished 4 tournaments in Florida. All of them have been on a cold front. So those Florida strain bass, when a cold front rolls through, they are not happy, not happy at all. I would love to see a Hobie or bass down in Florida myself. I completely agree with you there. I'd like to see one on Eufaula, man. It's a famed fishery. Somebody's got to put a big stop on Eufaula. I definitely want to see that in the next year for sure. I think that one's been overlooked for a while now.
If they do that, I'm gonna go ahead and call my boy Jim Clark out and go ahead and tell him that would be his tourney on Eufaula. So
to finish in the top 20, or where are you putting Jim?
I don't know. Jim can do it on Eufaula. I've seen it done. So
he can catch alligators down there. Have you ever seen him catch bass down there?
He can catch both, man. When he finds the big girls down there, he can catch them.
Yeah, but what about the fish?
Yeah.
Catfish.
I would love nothing more than to see a tournament on Eufaula and me get my eyeballs beat out by Jim Clark. That would make me happy.
George. Joey Randall said Logan Martin or Lay Lake. Also threw in Clark's Hill. All southeast stuff, I presume. I'm still curious why one hadn't made its way to Sam Rayburn. Hadn't had a big event.
I'd like to do one on Sam Rayburn. I've never fished for it before, so that's kind of the staple, it seems like, on everybody's stop list. But I'd like to go Sam Rayburn myself.
Yeah, Fork's fun. It's just been, they have one there every year, like you said. It's kind of a staple. But Sam Rayburn, I've never even fished it, but it's always ranked in the top 5 best bass lakes, and never pulls big tournament. Somebody said Bull Shoals in the comments. I'm down for that. They need to come to Bull Shoals. That's the best lake around here to me.
Why has there not been a kayak tournament on that? But we fish these trash lakes in Arkansas.
I've asked Steve, I asked AJ, I've asked everybody to bring one there. We'll see. I'll tell you one problem with Bull Shoals. It's an awesome lake, but there's not any bridges really that traverse it. So if you're trying to get around it, you got to drive around it, and it's a big lake. So you know what I mean. If you're trying to get to the other side of the lake and drive to another creek, you might have to drive an hour and a half to get around the other side.
What's access like? Is there a lot of public access?
Oh yeah, a lot of public access, a lot of forest roads and different things. So there's plenty of places to get in the lake, and it's got all 3 species and actually decent spots there. Fun lake to fish. So I'd love to see one there. It'd be awesome. Oh, somebody throwing in some more stuff on Bull Shoals. They're piling in. Come on, Bull Shoals. Somebody have one there. Elite Series used to come there.
Jordan Marshall wants one on Douglas Lake.
Okay. Is that a good lake? Tennessee, right?
It's in his backyard, so he's Jordan going to try to stack 2 trails just right around him and the TOC. He's got it figured out.
Jordan told me Norris Lake was his favorite.
So we were actually supposed to do a BASS state tournament on Norris Lake, and it got COVID. It got COVIDed, whatever that means.
COVIDed.
Yeah, we're going to do a little winter series. Steve-O's putting something together. We're going to do a few winter BASS state trails and try to have us a state championship by next spring before the Classic.
That'd be fun. Let's see. We're rolling on about 45 minutes. If anybody has any more questions, throw them at us while we're still on here. I know there's a few things we wanted to get to before we let Coley get out of here. Ryan, you made a post about the elites were just at or not the elites. Was it the elites at Guntersville this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you made a post about proper etiquette on the water. You want to talk any about that?
So I saw this video from an industry leader that started their own little kayak trail here thing, and it was almost posted like with pride as he pedals up on this elite guy that's in the top 10, like that is literally running at the big check, and he pedals right up on the guy. I mean, right on him, like 15, 20 yards, and starts like just asking him all kinds of questions. Like, hey, what trailer are you throwing on that buzzbait. How do you go about getting sponsors? Like, what kind of socks do you have? Like, just aggravating the shit out of this dude. We can't do that. Like, if any of us, period, like, I don't care if it's another kayak angler, if you roll up on somebody and they're fishing a tournament and you know that they're fishing a tournament, like, stay back, like, give them some space, especially these dudes that are fishing for $100,000. Like, I mean, let's let them do their thing, because that 15 yards you may be pushed in on, there may be a school about to blow up right there. Like, you may cost them, a keeper fish just from you fanning too close. Like, you have to be cognizant of that. Like, you can't just, slide in on people. And I saw a lot of comments on that. You see guys fishing on top of other anglers all the time. If you roll up on somebody, if you get within casting distance, if you're fishing down a bank, one of you pull out and go around the other one, and then keep fishing. Like, there has to be some kind of etiquette there. Like, you can't just go in and roll up on people and try to shit on their tournament just because you're bored. That's not acceptable.
Yeah,
I don't think.
at the very least, just talk. I mean, obviously, if you know it's a pro, just stay the hell away from him. But if it's just another angler, at least talk to him from a distance and say, "Am I good here? Should I be here? Can I go this way?" Just work it out. Talk to him.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah.
That's all it was. I mean, that's the main thing. Just kind of like, I don't want to see. We seen, Jacob Wheeler posted that famous YouTube video when he cut Russ Snyder's off on Fork. Like, that's the stuff. That's the negative publicity that the sport as a whole does not need. Like, that kind of stuff. And Russ was 1,000% in the right on that one. But you don't want to, get in these situations to where you're kind of the person that's like pushing in on them. Like, that doesn't look good, especially if it's on TV. Like, we gotta keep both eyes open. The video's been deleted since, but doesn't change the fact that it didn't happen. So everybody kind of keep their head on a swivel and be aware of what you're doing.
Yeah, we as kayak anglers, we want to be treated like the big boy series, so we got to act like big boys when we're out there. A few more comments coming in there. I don't know why, but they're talking about Alabama yard sales, which is weird. We don't even touch on that. You know anything about them Alabama yard sales, Coley?
That's all we got around here, man.
That's all we got. That's what the comment was. I've never seen so many freaking yard sale signs.
What is an Alabama yard sale? Tell us.
It's ridiculous. I mean, they do yard sales everywhere on the side of the road. So, I mean, you just be driving on the road and look over, and there'd be a huge yard sale, and it just gives people something to do, I guess. I don't know. Kill time, I guess.
Alabama yard sale. Y'all are wild.
You see what Duke said in the comments there, Ryan?
Russ needs to stop being the nice guy?
Yeah. I guess that's referring. He's had a few people coming on him outside of Jacob Wheeler, so maybe he needs to hold his ground a little bit, huh?
I mean, I agree. Like, it only takes being an asshole one time, and then people are like, wait a minute. I'm probably going to keep my distance.
There's a happy medium there. Russ is super nice, so props
he
to
is.
Russ. Shout out to
super
Russ.
Nice.
Shout out to Russ. Well, I mean, we got state championships coming up this weekend. I'm sure we'll follow the NC, and I'm more curious to see what the payout is as much as the winner. Maybe the winner is too. Maybe they'll find out Sunday.
I saw the drastic reduction in bonus bucks that came out a couple days ago. We got some graphics from that came in. Apparently, after everybody signed up and drove across the country, they released a bonus bucks reduction.
Oh, that's
so
cool. That's nice. Appreciate that.
Little icing on the cake there.
But we'll be pulling for all our buddies out there, hoping they do good in the NC this week. And then we've got state championships all over the place, like Ryan already said. So there's a lot happening to finish up the fall. Then TOC coming in hot in November with another bass event in November. So a lot still going on. Outside of TOC, you got anything else coming up, Coley?
No, just that's all I'm focused on right now. We done had our state championship last weekend, so it's just TOC is all I'm looking forward to.
All right.
Who won y'all state championship?
Lance Coley did. We
Did
tied
he?
for
Okay.
first. Yep, he won the tiebreaker. We both had 59 and a quarter.
Old Lance.
He had a heck of a spot, so he won the tiebreaker. He had a 21 and a quarter spot.
Dang. Biggin. Ryan, you got anything else before you get out of here? Get out of here from New York, from the city?
No, we got a state championship, and then the focus will shift to the TOC, and after that, we've got the final bass event on Chickamauga. That will hopefully put up some good numbers fish-wise. November is usually pretty good on Chickamauga, so I hope the temperature drops and bait schools up. It should be a good time.
Oh yeah, you need to slide in there and get that done so you can come hang out with Duke and I in Dallas, and whenever that thing's going to be, February, March.
Marshall wants the picks for state. Shut up, Marshall. You're the pick for state, all right? And I picked you to win the Coosa, so I'm sure you're going to blow that too. But I would say you or Eric Thompson has a pretty good shot. We got Fishing for Soldiers coming up. Jordan mentioned that. That's a charity tournament that happens East Tennessee. They open up Watts Bar, Chickamauga, all the Knoxville area lakes. And then Kyle Long mentioned the All-American in Missouri in November, which is on the national championship original date. They moved it off of that onto the 6 state championships to accommodate. So that's good.
That's good. Yeah,
Cheers.
It's going to be a busy fall, man. We'll try to line up another guest for next Monday. Coley, I want to say a special thank you to you for being law enforcement and doing what you do. We appreciate you and all your brothers and sisters out there in law enforcement, so thank you for that. Thank you for your service, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, good job, man. That's quite a splash you made coming in hot on the BOS series. I look forward to fishing against you at the TOC.
You too, man. Don't hurt us too bad, all right? Don't go
I ain't
up there.
hurt nobody. I ain't hurt
You and Jordan
nobody,
Marshall, man.
Well, me and Jordan Marshall will be at Drake's in Knoxville. That's where the hurting will be done. It ain't gonna be on the river. I got a place called the Mouse's Ear. Don't Google it. I'll take you there. You're welcome.
All right, boys. Well, hey, appreciate you once again, Coley. Ryan, stay safe in New York. Hope you make it out of there and back to your home country safe. We'll try to line somebody up by next Monday, man. We're out of here. Thank y'all.
Take it easy.
Yeah, have a good one.
See you, man. Appreciate you coming on.